Have you ever wondered why a simple conversation can sometimes feel like it has layers of hidden meaning? Or why a shared experience might be remembered with crystal clear emotional detail by a woman, but only as a series of events by a man? The human mind is an endlessly fascinating puzzle, but when we look at the nuances of female psychology, we uncover a world of intricate wiring, unique social dynamics, and surprising biological drivers that shape perception, behavior, and connection. Welcome, and get ready to explore some of the most interesting and often misunderstood aspects of how women think, feel, and interact with the world around them. In this video, we're not going to be dealing with cliches or stereotypes. Instead, we're diving deep into scientific studies, psychological theories, and verified facts that shed light on the inner workings of the female brain. We'll look at everything from the powerful link between emotions and memory to the subtle art of nonverbal communication, and even what research reveals about attraction and relationships. By the end of this video, you'll not only have a collection of fascinating facts to think about, but you'll also have a richer, more informed perspective on the psychology of half the world's population. So, if you're ready to unravel some of the mysteries of the female mind, let's get started. Let's begin with the very command center of our experiences, the brain. While men's and women's brains are more alike than they are different, the subtle variations in structure, chemistry, and processing patterns can lead to profound differences in emotional and cognitive life. One of the most significant areas where these differences emerge is in the realm of emotions. First, let's talk about emotional intelligence and empathy. You may have heard that women are generally more empathetic, and there's a good deal of psychological research to back this up. Studies consistently show that, on average, women score higher on tests measuring emotional intelligence, which is the ability to perceive, understand, and manage one's own emotions and those of others. This isn't just a matter of social conditioning, it appears to have neurological roots. Brain imaging studies have revealed that when women process emotions, they tend to show greater activity in brain regions associated with empathy, such as the mirror neuron system. These mirror neurons are what allow us to feel what someone else is feeling, to wince when we see someone get hurt, or to feel a pang of secondhand joy. For women, this system often seems to be more highly tuned, allowing for a deeper and more intuitive grasp of the emotional states of those around them. This heightened empathy is a cornerstone of female social bonding, fostering strong, supportive networks built on mutual understanding. This powerful emotional processing has another fascinating side effect. It's deeply intertwined with memory. Have you ever been in a discussion about a past event, and a woman recalls not just what happened, but precisely how everyone felt at that moment? This is a phenomenon known as emotional memory, and it's particularly potent in the female brain. The amygdala, which is the brain's emotional processing center, works in close partnership with the hippocampus, the region responsible for forming long-term memories. In women, the connection between these two areas appears to be incredibly strong. When an event is tied to a strong emotion, whether it's joy, fear, sadness, or excitement, the memory is encoded with an extra layer of significance. It's as if the emotion acts like a highlighter, making the memory more vivid, detailed, and easier to recall later on. This is why significant life events, from a first kiss to a major argument, are often remembered by women with an almost cinematic richness of emotional detail. It's not that they're choosing to hold on to the feeling, it's that their brain is wired to store the memory and the emotion as one inseparable package. Now, what about the famous concept of multitasking? For decades, it's been a popular belief that women are simply better multitaskers than men. But is there any truth to this? The science here is a bit more nuanced. Psychologically speaking, no one is a true multitasker. The human brain can't focus on multiple attention-demanding tasks at the exact same time. What we call multitasking is actually task switching, the brain rapidly toggling its focus between different activities. And this is where a potential female advantage comes in. Some neuroscientists point to the corpus callosum, the thick bundle of nerve fibers that connects the left and right hemispheres of the brain. On average, the corpus callosum has been found to be denser and more fibrous in women, suggesting more robust communication between the two hemispheres. This enhanced interhemispheric connection could allow for faster and more efficient task switching. So, while a woman isn't truly doing three things at once, her brain may be able to juggle the demands of cooking dinner, helping with homework, and talking on the phone with less cognitive friction than the average male brain. It's a subtle but powerful difference in processing efficiency that helps explain why this long-held stereotype has persisted. Now that we've explored some of the neurological foundations, let's look at how they manifest in the real world, particularly through communication and social interaction. For many women, communication is more than just a tool for exchanging information. It's the very fabric of their social lives and the primary way they build and maintain relationships. One of the most well-documented facts in psychology is the importance of verbal communication for women. On average, women tend to use more words per day than men. Some studies suggest thousands more, but it's the purpose behind those words that's truly significant. For many women, talking is a way to create intimacy and connection. A conversation isn't just about reaching a conclusion or solving a problem, it's a shared experience. The act of sharing thoughts, feelings, and stories is, in itself, a form of bonding. This is why women will often discuss their problems with friends not necessarily to find a solution, but to feel heard, understood, and validated. To a man, this might seem inefficient. Why talk about a problem if you're not trying to fix it? But for women, the emotional resonance and the strengthening of the social bond that comes from that conversation is the entire point. This fundamental difference in communication goals is at the root of many common misunderstandings between the sexes. But words are only half the story. A huge part of female communication happens without a single word being spoken. Women, on the whole, are remarkably adept at reading nonverbal cues. They tend to be more skilled at deciphering the subtle messages conveyed through facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice. This ability seems to develop early in life and is honed through countless social interactions. From a psychological perspective, this heightened sensitivity to nonverbal signals serves a crucial evolutionary purpose. It helps in nurturing children who communicate their needs long before they can speak, and in navigating complex social hierarchies where understanding the unspoken rules is key to harmony. So, when a woman says she has a gut feeling about someone, it's often not a mystical intuition, but a rapid, subconscious analysis of a multitude of tiny nonverbal signals that her brain has processed and interpreted, leading to an overall emotional conclusion about the person or situation. This deep-seated focus on social connection is also reflected in how women respond to stress. The classic fight-or-flight response, where you either confront a threat or run from it, has long been considered a universal human reaction. However, groundbreaking research by psychologist Shelley Taylor and her colleagues proposed a different model for women, Tend and Befriend. This theory suggests that when faced with stress, women are evolutionarily wired to have a different primary instinct. The tend part of the response involves protecting and nurturing their offspring, keeping them safe from harm. The befriend part involves turning to their social network for support, creating and strengthening bonds with other women. This response is driven by the hormone oxytocin, often called the love hormone, which is enhanced by female hormones like estrogen and helps reduce anxiety and promote bonding. So, while a man under pressure might feel the urge to isolate himself or tackle the problem head-on, a woman is more likely to reach out to her friends, talk through her anxieties, and draw strength from her community. It's a powerful, cooperative approach to managing life's challenges. The psychology of attraction is one of the most complex and captivating fields of human behavior, and the dynamics within romantic relationships are equally intricate. When it comes to what women find attractive, the answer goes far deeper than what we see on the surface. While physical appearance certainly plays a role, for many women, it's often the psychological and behavioral traits that create a lasting and powerful pull. So, what do women find attractive on a psychological level? Research consistently shows that qualities like intelligence, a good sense of humor, kindness, and reliability are often rated as more important than physical looks for long-term partners. From an evolutionary psychology perspective, these traits act as powerful signals. Intelligence suggests an ability to solve problems and acquire resources. A sense of humor indicates social intelligence and the ability to navigate social situations with ease, a key component of a successful partnership. Kindness and reliability are direct indicators of a person's potential as a supportive partner and a caring parent. A woman's brain is often subconsciously scanning for these cues of stability and investment. Interestingly, a woman's attraction can even be subtly influenced by her own biology. Studies have shown that a woman's menstrual cycle can affect her preferences. Around the time of ovulation, when she is most fertile, some research suggests she may be slightly more attracted to men with traditionally masculine features, like a strong jawline, which can be indicators of genetic fitness. During other phases of her cycle, she might show a stronger preference for men with softer features, which are often associated with stability and willingness to invest in a long-term relationship. This focus on the psychological over the purely physical extends directly into intimacy. The saying that a woman's most important erogenous zone is her brain is profoundly true. For many men, sexual arousal can be a relatively straightforward, visually triggered process. For a vast majority of women, however, arousal is a much more holistic experience that begins long before any physical contact. A recent Australian study highlighted this perfectly, discovering that most women report feeling more excited by the idea of foreplay and the anticipation leading up to intimacy than by the main act itself. This is because female desire is deeply connected to emotional context. Feeling safe, desired, emotionally connected, and appreciated are often prerequisites for physical arousal. The conversations, the shared laughter, and the feeling of being genuinely seen by a partner are the true beginnings of foreplay. Without that psychological and emotional foundation, the physical side can feel hollow or disconnected. Finally, let's address a long-standing myth about who should make the first move. Traditional dating scripts have long placed the burden of initiation squarely on men's shoulders. But what does modern psychology say about this? The reality is that these outdated rules are crumbling. In fact, in a massive survey of over 40,000 men, a staggering 90% of them reported that they find it incredibly sexy and attractive when a woman takes the initiative. This isn't just about men wanting to be pursued, it speaks to a deeper psychological appeal. When a woman makes the first move, whether it's asking for a number, initiating a kiss, or planning a date, it signals confidence, self-assurance, and clear interest. This directness removes the ambiguity and pressure that men often feel in dating situations. It bypasses the games and guesswork, creating a more authentic and equal dynamic from the very beginning. For many men, a woman who knows what she wants and isn't afraid to go after it is one of the most attractive qualities she can possess. Speaking of confidence, we know it's a cornerstone of attraction for both men and women. But for many men, nothing shatters that confidence more than struggling with performance and not feeling like they can fully satisfy their partner when the moment is right. It's a deeply personal issue, and while researching for this channel, I came across a fascinating and frankly bizarre story about a man who discovered an all-natural home remedy, something he calls a purple hardening tonic, that completely restored his youthful stamina and drive. It's a powerful presentation, and for any men watching who this might resonate with, I felt it was worth sharing. You can watch the free video that explains how this simple 7-second remedy works right now by pointing your phone's camera at the QR code you see on your screen. I've also pinned a direct link to it in the comments section below this video. Alright, now let's get back to our main topic and explore some more surprising psychological facts. Beyond the broad strokes of emotional processing and social dynamics, female psychology is filled with fascinating, and sometimes downright strange, curiosities that reveal just how differently the world can be experienced. These are the little details that add another layer of complexity and wonder to our understanding. Let's start with a sensory one, the perception of color. Have you ever been in a debate over whether a wall is painted eggshell, ivory, or off-white? There might be a biological reason for that. Some research suggests that women, on average, are capable of perceiving a wider and more nuanced spectrum of colors than men. The genes responsible for producing the photopigments that allow our eyes to see color are located on the X chromosome. Since women have two X chromosomes, they have a greater potential for variation in these genes. This can lead to a richer and more detailed perception of color, allowing them to distinguish between subtle shades that a man might see as identical. While not all women have this enhanced color vision, the genetic potential is significantly higher, which could explain why color-related fields, like fashion and interior design, have historically seen strong female influence. Next, consider the complex and often paradoxical relationship women have with pain. On one hand, studies have shown that women tend to have a lower pain threshold than men, meaning they may report feeling pain from a stimulus at a lower intensity. They also report feeling pain more frequently and in more areas of their body. However, and this is the fascinating part, women often exhibit a much higher pain tolerance, which is the maximum amount of pain a person can endure. The most powerful example of this, of course, is childbirth, an experience of pain that is almost beyond comprehension, yet it is endured by women across the globe. This suggests a highly adaptable and context-dependent pain response system, one that is perhaps more sensitive to daily aches, but is also capable of incredible resilience when faced with a monumental physical challenge. Let's move from pain to pleasure, specifically the power of scent. While the sense of smell is important for everyone, for many women, it plays an exceptionally crucial role in attraction and emotional bonding. The female olfactory system is highly attuned, capable of picking up subtle scents and pheromones that can subconsciously influence her feelings about a person. Studies have shown that women can often identify a man's genetic compatibility and even his immune system health through his natural scent alone. This is an ancient, primal mechanism at work. A partner whose scent is appealing is often a signal of a good genetic match. This is also why a partner's scent on a piece of clothing can be so comforting to a woman when they are apart. It's a powerful, tangible link to the person that triggers feelings of safety and connection in the brain. Finally, let's touch on a universal human trait, but one that's important to understand in any psychological context: the act of judging others. It's a simple but profound psychological truth that we don't see the world as it is. We see it as we are. People will inevitably judge you not based on your objective worth or intentions, but through the filter of their own current mood and needs. If someone is feeling insecure, they may perceive your confidence as arrogance. If they are feeling lonely, they might interpret your independence as aloofness. This isn't a uniquely female trait, but understanding it is key to navigating the complex social world that women are so adept at. It's a reminder that much of social perception is a reflection of the perceiver's inner state, a fact that can bring a great deal of peace and understanding to our interactions. So, from the intricate emotional wiring of the brain that ties memory to feeling, to the powerful social instinct to tend and befriend in times of stress, and the surprising sensory abilities that can literally change how the world is perceived, the psychology of women is a rich and multifaceted field. We've seen that attraction is often rooted in psychological cues of stability and kindness, and that communication is a tool for building deep, resonant connections. Of course, it's vital to remember that these are general patterns and averages based on scientific research. Psychology gives us fascinating insights into group dynamics, but every individual is a unique universe of experiences, personality, and biology. The most important takeaway is not to place people in boxes, but to use this knowledge to foster greater curiosity and deeper understanding in our relationships with one another. The more we learn about what makes us different, the more we can appreciate the shared humanity that connects us all. What fact did you find the most surprising or interesting? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the human mind, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe for more explorations into psychology and human behavior. Thanks for watching.